Good evening, people. It's night here, and I don't feel like going to bed, so I'm making this. Um, let's talk Forerunners. More specifically, the hounds, the bugs, and what I'm going to call the Promethean Knights we are going to talk about. We're going to be talking about what the Promethean Knights eject out of their back, what I call prototype sentries. I don't know the actual name. I think they're called Guardians. So, people don't like these. They don't like the Promethean Knight. They don't like the Hounds. They don't like the Bugs. And they definitely don't like the Guardians. Or the prototype sentries, as I call it. Reason being is because they don't look like how the monitors and the actual sentries look like. They don't have added parts to distract you from looking at what it's made of. The monitor is a glowing ball with a glass looking eye, maybe made of some very powerful crystal, or not powerful, strong crystal covered in a metal frame body. Yeah, simple design. All the circuitry and all that is on the inside of the ball on the inside. And the ball on the inside is connected to the metal frame, which floats, and the glass eyes in the front. We get that. The sentry is a little bit more complex. It's a gun wrapped around in a hover tool. The hover tool looks more complex than the gun, and the gun is pulled by something in a hover tool, which is also sentient and blah blah blah. Somewhat. That's how it is. Now, we don't meet any other form of Forerunner tech or anything. And that makes people mad. They add the hounds, they add the knights, they add that stuff. However, we find these on a shield world. Now, if I remember correctly, the Didact, which is a Forerunner general in my eyes, I view him as the guy in charge of doing the sending out something, or the troops, the Promethean Knights, all that, to fight the Flood. The Librarian is the keeper of all the knowledge and the continuation of the Forerunner species and any other species important enough to have a continuation of. Stuff like this is important to it. However, these three, Promethean Knights, if you want to say for four, these apparently don't add up because they don't fit the design. Again, it's on a shield world. The shield world is the first that we come across, apparently, in the whole time Halo. And I can understand because we spend the majority of our time on the other side of the galaxy doing missions to find Forerunner artifacts. But then we find the shield world. We have the non-military issued covenant, might be like a break off and stuff like that. Yeah. So you have that. That's a problem. And then the problem is, since this is the first time we found a shield world, we've landed on the inside. These shield worlds were meant to keep the Flood from attacking living beings. These shield worlds would have multiple different environments and ecosystems meant for different creatures of different kinds. And I can see them working because their shield worlds are covered in metal with a gravity well. Anything that comes through, you can just send those monsters. You can send the Promethean Knights, the Hounds, the Bugs, the Guardians after and say, destroy it. And yeah, and I can see it working because the light rifle, the suppressor, the bolt shot, that freaking binary rifle, I think it is, the incineration cannon, those destroy effectively. It leaves nothing, no residue, no nothing. It burns away most of the time. And this is very effective against the flood. So are the hounds, the bugs, and the guardians. Guardians bring back Promethean knights and the hounds. The hounds are like frontline fodders. They can run very swiftly. They can maneuver a little bit better than the guardians and the monitors and the sentries can. And they run off of something separate from anything the flood can attack. Maybe they work with the didact, and I can understand people's skepticism about that, but it has to make sense. I mean, yeah, you could just say it was 3 for 3, just wanting to throw something new in there so they don't have to reuse Bungie stuff. But hey, it's all matter of perspective there. So it's a very effective strategy. Monitors aren't very effective. We've seen that logic play can affect them. So I would imagine Forerunners find this out. They find out that their AIs can be affected by a logic plague, because the flood will tell the absolute truth of what it knows and use it to destroy the mind of an AI and turn it against people. It's done this with monitors. It's done this with Cortana, we believe. It's done this with Mendicus Bias. It's corrupted the mantle of responsibility, if I remember correctly. It's done a lot. So, if it can do this to AIs, why not have mechanical creatures who don't run on a real AI, more on a system that attacks and attacks and attacks? It'll listen to orders from one being the Forerunners, specifically the Didact in this case, and so on and so forth. This is effective for one reason. You don't have the logic plague affecting it. The spores and infections can't actually affect non-living creatures, to my knowledge, and so on and so forth. And the light-based weaponry completely destroy anything left from the flood, so that spores, even though they're continuously, they will die out. And it's effective. It's more effective than the sentries or the monitors or anything like that. Because we've seen the monitors get corrupted. We've seen sentries turned against their protocols because they're listening to the monitors. Stuff like that. And that's the main problem. So I can understand people being mad about how these are not Forerunner, but they could be, and they probably will always remain that way in the new lore, because that's how they're set up to be. And it flows, actually. I'm going to explain what I view what happened on Reach, and then I'm going to do an overall video on what I think would happen, what it means from Reach on to 5, or if I have to wait that long, 6, maybe 7. I might wait even longer and wait till after 8. But I will do Reach. I will do what was going on in 5 and what happened to Cortana. And to wrap this video up at 9 minutes and roughly 20 seconds, you can't judge the Forerunner tech because we haven't seen the complete arsenal of the Forerunners. We've seen the Halo array, we've seen the Arc, and we've seen the monitors and the sentries. We've seen some more of their tech in Halo 4. Seen even more of their tech with the Guardian, I think. Never mind, I guess I was speaking wrong about what that floaty dude is. prototype sentries, and then you have the giant mysterious guardian now. Looks like an angel, honestly. Christianity. Or is it Judo's Christianity? Whatever. Too much influence there. Add some more variety. Please. We've already got too many games based off Christianity. Don't have enough for Xbox on every other religion. So, wrapping it up, again, I gotta say, is this. The Forerunner tech in Halo 4 and Halo 5, to many won't be Forerunner tech to them because of the books and the lore and stuff like that. But to end it all with with a couple of words, is this. For all of the faults, it actually makes a lot of sense if you stop and think about it. The Flood is organic. These new and improved weaponries for the Forerunners don't run on a super smart AI who can be corrupted with logic, because it doesn't truly run on logic. It runs on murderous instinct. And it's effective. It'll stop a Flood from breaking out on those shield worlds. And that's all I have to say for that. Night or morning for y'all who's watching this in other countries. That's morning around the time that it is now, 9:05. And have a good time.